How to recognize stalemate opportunities in chess. Have you ever found yourself in a tight spot during a chess game, realizing that a stalemate might be your best chance for a draw? Recognizing stalemate opportunities can turn a losing position into a saving grace. Let's break down how to spot these chances effectively. First, let's clarify what a stalemate is. It occurs when a player has no legal moves left, but their king is not in check. This results in a draw, which can be a lifesaver in tough situations. To recognize stalemate opportunities, you need to understand some key conditions. The first condition is that the player must have no legal moves. This means the king and any other pieces cannot move without putting the king in check. The second condition is that the king must not be in check. The player with the material advantage often plays a role in forcing the stalemate by limiting the opponent's options. Next, let's look at common stalemate patterns. One classic scenario is when a lone king is cornered by an opposing king and queen. The queen controls all squares except the one where the king currently stands. Another situation arises with pawn promotion threats, where a pawn nearing promotion can block escape routes for the defending king. Also, immobile pawns can restrict the king's movement, leading to stalemate. To practically recognize these scenarios, track the mobility of the opponent's king. If there is only one square left for the king to move to, and that square is occupied, you might have a stalemate opportunity. You can also create sacrificial traps. For example, sacrificing a rook can block the king's less safe square. Simplifying the endgame can also help. In situations like rook versus pawn, forcing exchanges can lead to a king and pawn stalemate. If you are the stronger side, there are strategies to avoid stalemate. Delay checks that might corner the opponent's king too soon. Always leave at least one escape route for the opponent's king when making checks or advancing pawns. Make sure every move you make allows the opponent at least one legal response. As the weaker side, you can exploit stalemate opportunities by keeping your king centralized. This maximizes mobility and reduces the risk of being trapped. Use your remaining pieces to block the opponent's progress while keeping your king flexible. Sometimes, you can lure your opponent into overextending their position by pushing pawns too aggressively without support. In theoretical endgame scenarios, be cautious. For instance, a knight and king against a lone king can lead to stalemate risks if the knight blocks critical squares. Similarly, mismanaging bishop and rook coordination can accidentally stalemate the opponent's king. To sharpen your skills, practice stalemate puzzles where the goal is to force a draw from a losing position. Simulated endgames, like king and pawn versus king, can help you identify when pushing a pawn might trigger stalemate. By mastering these techniques, you can turn potential losses into draws and use stalemate traps to your advantage in endgames. Recognizing these opportunities can make a significant difference in your chess games.